Did this video predict?
Well, you already know why we're here, and I'm definitely going to break it down, but I do have to deliver what actually happened to the best of my knowledge. But listen, the first thing that I thought of was that it was definitely more than likely something esoteric involved, simply because of the use of energies during Halloween. And we have some numerical coding to break down. And this you might find actually kind of interesting, but I'll be right back in just a second to break it. Do you ever find yourself lost in questioning what the outcome of some of life's circumstances are? Are you feeling like your life is a perpetual Groundhog's Day and you really just want some insight on how to get off of life's hamster wheel and just move forward? Well, listen, you should consider a reading from eclectictarot.com. No matter where you are in the world, if you have internet, eclectictarot.com is accessible to you. eclectictarot.com has past, present, and future readings, 3-month forecasts, and many other services to help. Visit eclectictarot.com for all of your tarot and spiritual needs and look no further. There will be more information in the pinned section down below.
What I really love about the project is how you shine it. Like,
Appreciate it.
I feel like not like, of course you were shining before, but I feel like you were dancing on this one.
Yeah.
I felt like you
He
was
went
just
crazy.
like, yo. I felt like it was like it was always your time. It was your time to prove it. Is that something you had in your mind when you was going in recording?
Oh, for sure.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Enough is enough.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm chill, you know what I'm saying? Laid back, but it's time to pop it, you know what I mean? I mean, time to give me my flowers, you know what I mean?
Right.
I don't want them later on when I ain't here.
God damn it,
You know what I mean? I want them right now, so.
Give me
Just a week ago, he was on the show Drink Champs talking about getting his flowers. And if you really listen back to it with context and understanding of this industry, you have to understand that everything that we see is just a mirage. It's not exactly what you think you're looking at. These conversations are purposefully led half the time, and we're consuming them with not realizing them. This man said, give him his flowers while he's here. And that's not just a small thing, especially since he said it last week and now he's gone. So a lot of the commentary surrounding this has a very blue pill understanding of what is happening. And it's really easy giving his race, what he does for a living, and his associates just to diminish this down to just simply dudes being dudes. Okay, so first and foremost, if you're here and you've been a part of my platform, you already know how I feel about celebrities and what they do. We already know that Offset is what we would call a warlock, okay? He uses a lot of magic. We already know Cardi B is into Santeria, and I'm not at all saying that any of these practices are necessarily bad. It is how you use it, okay? All of this energy around us is being used even by religious people. So it's up to you on how you use the energy. And everyone knows that Halloween is a time when the veil is thinning, and it is an awesome time for rituals because of how much power and how much of all of our collective energy is being kind of perpetuated all on one accord. So last night, on Halloween, there was a new video released by Takeoff and Quavo. Now, the theme of the video is a party, a Halloween party. And of course, we already know that he actually passed away at a party, right? So because it's a Halloween party, of course, there's going to be themes of, dying and death and, the macabre or whatever. So the video does have a dark Halloween sort of feel for it. In fact, it begins with them talking about it and basically believing that they're in a dream state. So throughout the video, you're going to see flashbacks between Quavo and Takeoff going back and forth through this house. Now, there are other people there, and we can analyze the video further about that, but let's get right into it. So there's a part in the video where there's a room and Quavo's sitting in the bed and he's talking about his paper, right? And as he's talking about his paper, he's looking down at a contract with the Migos on it, which is really interesting because we know that the Migos cease to exist. And I believe that he gets to talking basically in parallels, or in parables, actually. And he's talking about, blessing something if you wanted part of it. And then it flashes over to Takeoff with the Grim Reaper standing next to him with the words, "Rest in peace." Now, what's really important to understand is that they released this on Halloween. These people know all about what goes on in this industry, and they work the magic. Okay, so they know what they're doing. None of this is a coincidence. There's a reason why he is standing right next to the Grim Reaper with "Rest in peace." But more importantly, and here's where it's going to get a little spooky for some. During the video, you have to pay attention to the numerology, to the numbers, because believe it or not, that is one of the most important pieces when you start to break down these rituals that these celebrities are doing. So again, rest in peace for real. But this was the day that they released the video. And here's the minute mark. And what we have, if we go to the minute mark where they flash at him and Quavo's saying, bless it. If you break these numbers down, the ending number and the actual minute mark number actually all equal to 9, which would mean that is the number of completion. Ritual complete. Okay, really easy. And then, right after all of that happens, it flashes to him actually being inside of an elevator of sorts. And it kind of looks like he's in like the crazy house in an elevator, and it's giving me like hospital scrub vibes. So anyway, Quavo's in there. And if you look at all of the numbers on this, it actually eventually breaks down to the number 2. Okay. And that could be teamwork. That could be many things, because in actuality, when you first break it down, it comes to 11, which is a very highly powerful master number. And then that, of course, will break down to 2, depending on which kind of numerology that you're going to do. But ultimately here, if we look at the minute mark, okay, this actually breaks down again to 22. And what is 22? Honey, 22 is another master, powerful number. And here's something I wanted to explain to you that you can't see from my end that seems a little hokey for me. Every time I try and place the image of Quavo with that contract, my screen is going blank to the point where I don't even know if it's actually going to show up in the final cut of the video. And that is really freaking me out. But let me know what you think about this. What do you think about this situation? Do you think it's a coincidence that he's standing next to the Grim Reaper the day before he dies? Anywho, we'll talk more about this on our Patreon live. I just wanted to give a brief overview. I've only been up for a couple of hours, so I don't even have all of the full details of this, but I smell ritual, and let me know if you do. And if you like my commentary, please click like, comment, and subscribe. And if you don't like it, you can still comment and you can still subscribe, because you're bound to return and find something that will entertain you or be of intellectual benefit. Peace.
If you haven't heard about the recent death of rapper Takeoff, maybe you haven't been watching the news. As I was on his profile, I noticed that he just recently made a song with Quavo called 2:30. And reports are saying that is the exact time that he passed away. Everything is spiritual. And these guys have to be really careful about what they say and what they rap about. Because on this same song, Quavo also mentioned shooting. And that is how Takeoff passed. May God have mercy on his soul. I pray that he makes it to the gates of heaven and enter heaven. But it just makes me sad thinking about the possibility of him not making it to heaven. And let's not even talk about the senseless shooting. I think these rappers need to realize once they make a certain amount of money, they need to stay out of the hood. Stay out of the hood. Don't be out late at night shooting dice. Now, I'm not like a conspiracy theorist or anything, but if I see something and I get like a spiritual feeling from it, I do like to discuss it. What do you guys think? Do you guys think that these rappers are basically predicting their death? It's a very sad, unfortunate situation. I pray for his family, and I especially pray for Quavo's strength because he saw that. That was his nephew, his business partner, maybe even his best friend. And there's freaking videos on the internet of Takeoff basically laying on the ground and Quavo just, looking in shock. He'll probably need some therapy after this. But, guys, none of us is perfect at all. We all sin. I just feel like when it comes to rapping, these rappers need to be very careful with their words. Because not only are they most likely already rapping about, worldly, ungodly stuff, but the things they say, it can become their karma. But, how coincidental that he reportedly passed at 2:30 and they just released a song called 2:30. It's crazy. And all of this crime, especially within the black community, needs to stop. This is getting ridiculous. But y'all, let me know what y'all think.